Welcome back everyone. As most of you guys know, the iPhone 12's come out and I can't stop talking about them. There's just so much I have to go through, and I want to explain to you a couple of things that you should probably keep in mind before you go and purchase any of the iPhone 12s. Now, the very first thing I want to hit on, which is probably the most important thing, is the pricing structure with these new iPhones. Now, Apple said that their base model iPhone 12 mini is going to cost $699 and their iPhone 12 is going to cost $799. Well, that is only partially true. If you have AT&T or Verizon, then both of those carriers will allow you to buy those iPhones for $699 and $799 respectively. Unfortunately, if you're not an AT&T or Verizon customer, like I am not, I'm not a Verizon customer or AT&T customer, you actually are going to spend $729 and $829 to pick up those iPhones. So the 12 mini is going to be $729. The iPhone 12 is going to be $829. And honestly, when I saw that, and after taxes, I was pretty much paying, I remember like $870 or something. I think a lot more people, if you're going to get the iPhone 12, you might as well spend a little bit more money and get an iPhone 12 Pro. That is kind of my opinion. That pricing structure that they said at first is, oh my God, that's a $200 difference. But then when it actually kind of, breaks down, it's actually less than a $200 difference, and it's about a $170 difference between both those iPhones. So I don't know what they were truly thinking when they were saying that, because it's not deceptive, it's just kind of weird. It may be a little misleading, so that's a very important thing to keep in mind. The iPhone 12 Pro is costing $1,000, so $999, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max is costing $1,099. So I would honestly tell you guys, like, if you're going to be getting those iPhones, you might just want to pick up a 12 Pro if you're trying to get the iPhone 12, mostly because the prices are just so close to one another. So that's one little aspect right there. Now, the other thing is that since we're talking about the structures between both, the iPhone 12 and the 12 mini, they technically don't have the same amount of storage for the baseline model as the iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max. So what I would tell you is that if you currently have like a phone, like an iPhone 10 or iPhone 10s or whatever, and you have, the mid-tier model, the 256 or 128 gig model of any phone, if you go to the iPhone 12 or 12 mini, you may just assume that it has that 128 gig capacity that the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max get on their base model, but that is not the case. The iPhone 12 and 12 mini have 64 gigs on that base model. So there's a little bit of a shift when it comes down to those base model storage. So I would definitely tell you, if you have an iPhone that has over 64 gigs of storage going to the 12 mini or 12, you may see that you have maybe a little discrepancy when it comes down to those storage models, and you may run out of storage on your device or may not even have enough storage. So keep that in mind. You will have to spend more money for the 12 or 12 mini to get anything higher than 64 gigs. So keep that in mind. But you do get twice that amount of storage for the base model of the iPhone 12 for the iPhone 12 Pro, and that's why I would kind of recommend people to go to the iPhone 12 Pro. You're getting twice that amount of storage and just a better phone overall than the standard iPhone 12. So that's another pretty big thing to keep in mind. Now, the last thing I want to hit on are just the batteries within these devices. The batteries are actually smaller in every single way, going from the predecessor of each phone respectively to the, successor. So when you look at the iPhone 12 Pro Max, that has a smaller battery than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. If you look at the iPhone 12 Pro, that has a smaller battery than the iPhone 11 Pro, which was smaller than it. That doesn't make any sense. And the iPhone 12 has a smaller battery than the iPhone 11. Now, the iPhone 12 mini has the worst battery life out of all those devices, and that is something that I didn't think of at the time, but literally 20 seconds after that, that's when I knew. I was like, okay, yeah, that's going to have a super small battery, because Apple mentioned that it's pretty much the exact same phone as the iPhone 12. It's just in a smaller footprint, and it has less battery life, which is a huge thing in my opinion. And that's one thing that I think you guys should know too, that the battery life are pretty much, cut across the board. So those are just a couple things that I would let you guys, watch out for if you're going to pick up the iPhone 12. Now, obviously, you can only buy the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro right now for pre-order. Eventually, we will get the iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12 Pro Max, but I figure these are pretty important things for you guys to know. So that really pretty much covers it up for the most part. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.